what you want.
All right, what's up guys? Ryan Milliken here, Hardway Performance. I want to talk about our 10-bar map sensors made for us by RIFE Sensors, aka Motion Raceworks and all my homies out there. So, stock sensors. Stock 5.9 Cummins sensor, you'll see it has a 2-bolt flange. The connector sticks up. Stock 6.7 Cummins sensor, actually the one out of my personal truck. Single bolt flange, connectors at an angle. So these are our prototypes that we had made. As you can see, the connectors turn, but that doesn't matter. This is a 3D printed prototype that'll drop right in place of this. And this is the actual production. Just took it out of the plastic bag about 5 seconds ago, well, 5 minutes ago. This is a pre-production model for the 6.7. No anodized, no functional parts on the inside. You probably can't see it, but if you ever held one of these, there's 2 holes on the inside of that you can see. And what was important to talk about here is that this is a RIFE DTM connector temperature sensor for intake air temp. So this is a standard IAT, which is the same standard IAT sensor that reads in this, and I'll cover something kind of weird later. So this thermocouple and actually be a thermistor. So that thermistor and this 10-bar map sensor. So the insides of these 2 sensors from RIFE Sensors, map, temperature, are packaged inside of this. So this is just a box that fits in an otherwise, it basically bolts into your stock truck. So this is nothing more than a vessel to house these 2 sensors from RIFE. So temperature, pressure and temperature. So it's that simple. So a stock sensor will read to 266 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a 4-wire sensor. So what that means is there's a common 5 volt and a common ground, and there's 2 sensor return wires or signal wires inside of here. So both of the stock sensors are like that. So this, made of plastic, only the thermistor only reads to 266 degrees. I have not tested the actual plastic to see when it starts to melt, but somewhere up there it will. So same thing with this guy here. You're not going to melt this, okay? This is billet aluminum. If it gets really, really hot, you might turn it purple, the anodizing on it, but you gotta get it really hot to do that. So you're not gonna melt this off. This sensor reads to 450 degrees Fahrenheit in our trucks, okay? If you're gonna use this 10-bar map sensor with a Motec, with a insert brand of aftermarket ECU here, the pull-up resistance on the thermistor is different, so it will not read to 450 degrees. That is why you cannot go on the RIFE website and pull the sensor scaling for the thermistor directly off the website and scale it into our trucks. Because on a 6.7 Cummins specifically, the pull-up resistance is different by a lot. For scaling information, check our website, hardwayperformance.com. I've got some pretty detailed sensor scaling information on this stuff. If you're wondering, there's a barcode on here. You can scan the barcode if you're ever confused as to what the sensor scaling is. It takes you right to our website that talks about all the sensor scaling. If you're still goofed up or your tuner's goofed up or you're having an issue, reach out to me, Ryan at hardwayperformance.com, and we'll get you guys squared away. So from the top, stock reads 51 PSI absolute and 266 Fahrenheit. Ours reads 145 PSI absolute, or about 130-ish pounds of boost, depending on your atmosphere, and 450 degrees Fahrenheit intake air temp. On a 5.9 Cummins, this is intake manifold temp. That is the name of the PID. On a 6.7 Cummins, which would be this sensor, it's not intake manifold temp anymore. That's actually a separate sensor on the 6.7 Cummins. This is charge air cooler outlet temp, and it is data logged with HP tuners. This is not data logged with EFI Live. However, if you want to data log the temperature reading of this sensor, reach out to me. I'll tell you how. There's some backside tricks I'm not going to talk about in this video. All right, so you're on our website. You're trying to check out which sensor it is you want to get. Do you want to get a Hardway 10-bar 6.7, Hardway 10-bar 5.9? It's pretty simple. If you're buying it for a truck that has 5.9 electronics, as in a CM845, 846, 848, 849, that's gibberish for an 03 to 07 truck, or anything newer than 2007 and a half that would have a 6.7 Cummins in it, you're going to get the 6.7 one. So these sensors don't care about the actual displacement of your engine. So if you have a 6.7 long block and a 5.9, but you have 5.9 electronics, you still need the 5.9 sensor. They are different connectors on the top, but like I said, they house the exact same parts. So these are just vessels to hold these two awesome sensors from RIFE Sensors. So something Brandon just brought up right here. Guys welding your own stuff up, or you're putting a 6.7 engine in a 5.9, and maybe you prefer the 90-degree connector over the straight connector for whatever it is you want to put it. So this will actually drop right into place. The 6.7 one will drop right into place, and vice versa. You can put a 5.9 one directly in its spot, and they all line up. You're just either going to use one of two holes if you put a 6.7 sensor in a 5.9 spot, or you're going to have an extra hole, an extra tab on here that you could cut off if it really bothered you. But either way, these mount holes are exactly the same length away from each other on here. The differences being that the connectors are different. But if you're trying to do something Gucci and you need some really specific connectors or pigtails, we have them in stock. Reach out to us. All right, so hit like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We will do more stuff like this. If you guys got any requests on stuff you want me to get in front of a camera and blab about, feel free to leave it in the comments below. This is all I got to talk about today, so stay tuned and we'll catch you next time.